Should we work along with you or should we just watch?
You can just watch for now. Once I'm done with the recording, then we can, if you have issues, we can go over them individually.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And I know that Brandon has provided you with this GitHub right here, this Viva code. And this is the UI2 solution for the old UI2 project. So the way that I'm going to start this is I'm going to follow the Lambda Git flow. So if we go look at the README, and that's not the correct README. So let me bring up another Git flow real quick. So right here, and I am sharing, y'all see client-side routing with React Router 4, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do with the Lambda Git flow is we're going to fork the repository. So in order to fork the repository, I'm going to come up here to this little button on the right. It says fork. It has, and currently has the number 23. As soon as I do this, it'll go up to 24. So I'm going to click fork, and then I'm going to select my account. So when I select my account, it'll say fork in Viva code UI-2. All right, awesome. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that my username is right here and the name of the project is here. And then and right underneath it, it'll tell me where I forked it from. So while I'm here, I'm going to go into my settings. And on my settings, I'm going to select this collaborators tab. Then I'm going to put in my password. All right, so from here is my collaborators settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my team lead as a collaborator to this project. So my team lead was Fracture 2K. I'm going to go ahead and add him, and now it's going to be awaiting his response. He's probably not going to respond because he's in labs, but that's okay. So now at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my clone or download, and I'm going to click my little copy button here. This will copy the link into my clipboard. And then I'm going to open up my terminal of choice, which is I use Windows Subsystem for Linux when I'm on my Windows machine. And I have the Ubuntu flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Lambda folder. Just like that. And if you're wondering, tab auto completes. So now, following our terminal prompts, the first thing I want to do is I want to git clone. And then I'm going to paste in the link that I copied. So when I do that, I'll press enter. And it says that I cloned into UI2, which is good. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cd into UI2. All right, and then I'm going to do a git status just to make sure it says I'm on branch master and everything's up to date with the origin master. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check out my branch. Anybody know how? Anybody want to pipe up and tell me how they check out a branch?
Git checkout.
Very good. What else do I put in there?
I think if it's a new branch, you put -b, right?
That is correct. And then I'm going to put my name in just like that, which is Donald-Whiteley. When I press enter, it'll say now I've switched to a new branch, Donald-Whiteley. When I do a git status on this, it'll say I'm on my new branch. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to type in code, which will bring up my Visual Studio Code. And it probably did not bring it in up. So now I'm going to open up the folder.
Is it a code then a period?
It could be, yes. And now I've got my Visual Studio Code up, and I just drag it in while it's loading. All right, so awesome. So now I have all the files. Here's my index file, which is the index.html that we'll work with. And then under my CSS files, there's my index.css. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, just so that I can get my pull request done, is I'm going to come in here and just add my name to the README file. Okay. And then I'm going to save it. Then I'm going to bring up my git bash again, which did I shut it down by accident? If not, I'll show you how to do it from, if you hit your control tilde on Visual Studio Code, it'll bring up your terminal in the folder that you're in. So now I'm going to do my git status. And it says I have a modified README file in red, which means I've not added it to changes yet. So to add the changes, I'm going to do a git add and period. Now I could do git add readme.md, but the git add period will add all changes. All right, so once I do that, I will check it again and see my git status. So now I'm green, so I am good to commit my first file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type git commit -m and then open quotations. And this is where a message that we're going to do for a commit. And what I like to do personally is say initial setup, because it's the first commit message for that. So when I do that, it tells me that I have one file change with 2 insertions. That's very good. If I do a git status now, it's going to tell me it's the working tree is clean, which is good. That's what we want to do. So the next thing I want to do is I want to push to my branch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a git push. My upstream branch is called origin, and then it's my name. And you don't have to put the quotes around it. Then when I do that, all right, so that's good. It gives me, it says I can create a pull request for Donald Whiteley on GitHub by visiting the link. And it says that I have a new branch. So if we go back out to GitHub right now, it will tell you that less than a minute ago, there was a push and I have my name here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna compare and pull request. All right, the next thing I'm gonna change is this base repository. This base repository must be your account with the name of your repository. So when I do that, it's going to say base manager to compare to Donald Whiteley, which is good. You know, whatever your name is what it's going to say. So it won't say me. This reviewers tab, if your team lead has not accepted your collaboration request yet, nothing will show here. That is perfectly fine. They can add themselves later. And then you could leave a comment if you'd like. Very good practice is to leave the details of the change on the pull request. Since it's just initial setup, I will leave it blank and then I will hit create pull request. And so now I have my pull request in. I won't touch merge pull request because that will be my team lead's responsibility when they have verified that you've hit the MVP on the project. And also, this pull request here, this link here is the link that I will submit on my Airtable tonight when I'm done with the project for stand-up. And that is the Git flow for Lambda. Does anybody have any questions about that? No questions? I will post a guide for y'all in the help channel when I post this video. It'll give you the actual command line steps to go through what I just mentioned.
I appreciate it. Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and stop record. I'll stop share as well. Stop the record.